A lion cub stopped my jeep in the middle of the African savanna, and less than an hour later, I was standing between him and 6 wild hyenas with 1 bullet left in my rifle. I was finishing my patrol when he ran straight onto the dirt road. I slammed the brakes so hard the jeep skidded sideways in a cloud of red dust. He didn't run away. He stood there, crying, staring into my eyes like he was begging me to understand. Then he rushed to me, pressed his tiny paws against my legs, and let out the most desperate sound I've ever heard. Suddenly he turned and sprinted into the tall grass, constantly looking back to make sure I was following. 2 minutes later, I found his mother. At the bottom of a deep poacher's pit lay a full-grown lioness, barely breathing. She was dehydrated, covered in dust, too weak to stand. She had probably been trapped for days. I called for backup, tied a rope around an acacia tree, and climbed down into the pit. I gave her small, careful sips of water. As she swallowed, her eyes cleared just a little. Then I saw movement near the rocks. A sand viper was slithering toward her. She was too exhausted to even notice. I moved slowly, then struck fast, killing it seconds before it could bite her. That's when I heard the cub scream. I scrambled up the rope and pulled myself over the edge. 6 hyenas had formed a circle around the pit, and between them and his helpless mother stood that tiny cub, fur raised, roaring in a high, fearless voice. I fired a flare over their heads. They jumped back, but didn't leave. I fired into the air. They split up and kept closing in from both sides. I had 1 flare and 1 bullet left. The alpha crouched, ready to pounce. I aimed straight at him. If he jumped, I would have to kill him. Then I heard engines roaring in the distance. 2 rescue trucks burst through the brush, horns blaring. The hyenas finally scattered into the grass. We sedated the lioness, lifted her out with a winch, and rushed her to the rehabilitation center. I visited every week. She regained her strength. The cub grew bigger and stronger, always recognizing me. 2 months later, I opened the release gate. She stepped into the wild, paused in the golden morning light, then walked back to me and gently pressed her forehead against my chest. The cub looked back one last time before following her over the hill. That day, he didn't just stop my jeep. He chose to trust me.